How do we analyze and interpret the results of Rahu and Ketu in your horoscope? So there is a lot of confusion in the market when it comes to understanding and predicting the results of Rahu and Ketu in your chart. How will Rahu and Ketu behave in your chart and what results will they give? It is seen majorly that if Rahu and Ketu are placed in debility, that is Ketu in Gemini and Ketu in Taurus and Rahu in Sagittarius and Rahu in Scorpio, there is a lot of fear and psychosis going that I have a debilitated Rahu and Ketu and my life is finished. To break this fear, to clear this clutter and to dispel all the myths, I am making this video. If you watch this video till the end, you will actually understand how Rahu and Ketu behave, what they do in your chart and what is the results that they will be giving. So hey guys, what's up? I hope you guys are doing great and I welcome you back to Purab's Astrology. Now I want to tell you guys that I am not keeping well health wise. I have been diagnosed with colitis, right? And there are times when I experience a lot of pain in my abdomen, that is the intestine part. So because of which I am not able to do videos that frequently. So I want you to pray for me such that I get well soon. And I also want you to share my videos such that more people get enlightened by the knowledge that I'm sharing. And also I receive your love constantly. Now, to understand the influence of Rahu and Ketu in your horoscope, we need to get into the interpretation by dissecting this chart. So let's start the surgery of this horoscope. So in this horoscope, primarily there are two things to observe here, right? The first thing is that Ketu is debilitated in this chart in the third house in the sign of Gemini. And if Ketu is debilitated, obviously Rahu will also be debilitated in the opposite house, that is the ninth house in the sign of Sagittarius. Now, when you see this chart, right, you will feel that Rahu, Ketu both debilitated, finished. Ketu is initial life experience and Rahu is the future where you're heading, right? So this person having a debilitated Ketu and Rahu will not be able to fulfill his desires, will not be able to achieve he wants to achieve, and there will not be any fulfillment of desires in the life of this person. This is where you're going wrong. Because the fundamental says, the basic says that Rahu and Ketu are nothing but shadow planets. They are like clones, replicas, viruses, and they basically try to take the shape and the characteristics of the sign in which they are placed, and also they try to behave like the lord of the sign. So in this case, Ketu is placed in Gemini sign, right? And the third house, because this is an Aries ascendant chart, number 1 is the first number. So you would say that a debilitated Ketu in Gemini, this Ketu will give communication problems, this Ketu will give misunderstanding with your neighbors, with your siblings, and problems while making short distance travel. And this will give problems in the shoulder area because the Ketu is getting debilitated here. But before understanding and interpreting the results of Rahu Ketu and also any other planet, you need to see where the planet is placed and what is the condition of the dispositor. Dispositor means the lord of that particular house in which Ketu or Rahu are placed. So in this case, Ketu is placed in the third house, but the lord of the third house is getting exalted in the sixth house in the sign of Virgo. So basically, Ketu is getting full strength from Mercury, Buddha, Mercury, because the Lord is exalted. So Ketu will actually give results based on the Lord, because Ketu is a tenant. He has come to reside in the house of Gemini, which is Mercury. But how will the overall experience be? Will it receive 5-star comforts or will it receive third-class comforts? Depends on how well the house is controlled by the landlord. So the landlord is strong in the 6th house, it is exalted here. So this Ketu will actually create a condition of, Vipreet yoga, where even though it appears to be debilitated, but it will give you exalted results. So this person will become a master in communication. He will have beautiful hand skill. He will have wonderful ability to drive, to ride bike, to make short distance travel, to do meetings, and he will also be very courageous because the third house is the house of courage. You get my point? So whenever you see a debilitated Ketu in the horoscope of a person, don't get hyper and don't just predict that your Ketu is debilitated and your third house, you have this problem, that problem, you get separated from your cousins and siblings and younger brother or sister. That's wrong. See the position of the Lord of the third house. If the Lord of the third house is strong, then absolutely this Ketu will give magical results. And also you have to see that the third house is a Upachaya house. That is, the planets which are placed in the third house, they slowly start giving good results. As you age, the planet starts developing. So third house is a Upachaya house and also a malefic house, and Ketu does actually pretty well in malefic houses. So this Ketu in the third house is actually a blessing and not a curse. Similarly, how can we forget Rahu? Rahu is placed in the 9th house in the sign of Sagittarius, a debilitated Rahu. So when you see a debilitated Rahu in the 9th house, you will say that this person will change his religion, this person will go against his religious beliefs, this person will not respect his father, his guru, his teachers, this person will not follow dharma and become antisocial, and all the negative things will be predicted. But before you do this prediction and before you try to say and analyze the results of this debilitated Rahu in the 9th house, you need to actually understand that the Lord of the 9th house, Jupiter, Guru, is getting exalted in the 4th house in a Kendra. So Lord of the 9th, Lord of the 12th, Jupiter, exalted in the Kendra, and also the Lord of the 4th house, that is Cancer sign, Moon, is also placed. So this is a Gaj Kesari Yoga, and also this is a Hams Yoga, which is a Raj Yoga. So do you understand how strong this Jupiter is actually in this horoscope? And this Rahu will behave like a Kodand Rahu. What is a Kodand Rahu? That is, even though Rahu is debilitated, but Rahu is the desire of the person. This desire is that this person wants to dwell into spirituality, astrology, religion, and everything that has got to do with Guru, God, spiritual journeys, long distance travel, abroad visit, everything. So whatever Rahu is desiring, actually, that will get fulfilled, because the Lord of the Rahu, the landlord of Rahu, the 9th house Lord where Rahu is placed in a Kendra, and it is exalted. So what do you understand from whatever I told for such a long time? You need to see how strong the Lord of the particular house is when you have to interpret the results of Rahu and Ketu in the horoscope of yourself and any person, right? Now, in this horoscope, Saturn is placed in the 10th house, Shani, right? So because Saturn is placed in the 10th house, Saturn will be aspecting this Jupiter. So maybe initially you would feel that this Rahu is not able to achieve the desires because Saturn is blocking Jupiter, right? And there is a Graha Yuddha, planetary war between Guru and Shani, that is Jupiter and Saturn, because of which the energy of Jupiter is getting exhausted till the age of 35 to fight the malefic aspect of Saturn. But after 35, this Jupiter will start expanding in the 4th house, will start giving property, comforts, land, assets, buildings, and everything to this person. And Rahu will gain through all these things. So whenever Rahu will try to do a spiritual travel, or he would want to make an abroad journey, Rahu will use Jupiter, that is Guru, as a source. So whatever income he will get from the property and assets or inheritance, he will use that money and he will make travels and journeys. So analyze the horoscope properly, understand the basic fundamentals of astrology. No planet is capable of giving results independently. If the planet is placed in the own sign, then it's a different matter altogether. But if the planet is placed in any other sign controlled by any other planet, before predicting the results of exaltation, debilitation, and things like that, please understand how strong and well placed the Lord of that planet is. If it is well placed, then it is like a spark and an ocean of petrol. It just needs to ignite and it will expand. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe. Even he is making out noise. Subscribe to Purab's Astrology. Hit the like button if you like these videos, and also hit the bell icon so that you get my notifications. I love you all. Adios. Jai Hind. Jai Bharat.